Hello everybody. In this video I want to talk about the Buddhist concept of karma. And before I start, I just need to say that this video is not affiliated with any religious group or organization. It's based on just my own opinions and things that I've learned and experienced about the concept of karma over really the course of a lifetime, actually, from studying the philosophy of Buddhism. And the point I kind of wanted to make in this video is one of the things that I think is a major misconception about this concept, and it's something that I learned many years ago when I attended a Buddhist conference down in Florida. And there was a person there, a speaker, an Asian speaker, who was very knowledgeable in the philosophy of Buddhism, and he was talking about this concept of karma. And it stuck with me over the years because I think it's something that we can actually apply in our everyday lives in the modern day world. And he's based his talk on the translation. This, as far as I remember, I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that the word karma, the concept of karma, comes from Indian Sanskrit, I think, but it's translated really as the word action. Karma means action. And I think this word has gotten where we use it all the time, and I think most people kind of interpret it as like good luck. Good karma is good luck or good fortune, and bad karma is bad luck or bad fortune. And it seems that we've all started using it to mean that it's something that we brought with us from maybe a past life or something, and it's something we don't really have that much control over. Well, if I'm poor and I never have money, it seems like because I've got bad karma, I have poor karma. I've heard people say this. And when it comes to health, okay, I have poor health. Well, it's just, I was born with it. I was born with bad karma when it comes to health. And I think if we really look at the real meaning of this based on what I learned in this conference many years ago, that's really not true. If you look at the concept of karma meaning action, it's really based on our own actions. And we do have control over our karma. We have the ability to change our karma at any given point in time if we understand the fact that we do have control over it and we can change it. And one of the examples that the speaker used that had stuck with me over the years is the idea of karma being little actions, but they are, well, little actions that are repeated over and over and over, typically on a day-to-day basis, and even throughout the course of the day. And he used the idea of a person who has maybe, particularly, I guess it would be a female who really wanted to have long, beautiful fingernails. Most women place some value on that. And if they just were never able to grow their fingernails because they had this unconscious habit of whenever they got stressed, nervous, or just bored, whatever, they would kind of like to start biting on their fingernails, but they may not even be aware that they're doing it. And then, of course, if this is something that a person does all day long, every day, over a course of time, the result would, of course, be, I guess, nubby fingernails that, and they might even be talking to a friend and say, who had long, beautiful fingernails, and they may even say, well, I just can't grow fingernails like you do because it's just, I wasn't born with it. Or they might say, I just got bad karma. That's not really a good use of that word, but I mean, I think you get the idea that the fact that they don't realize that they're causing this problem for themselves, because if you tend to bite your fingernails when you get stressed or whatever, of of course they're not going to grow. And someone who doesn't have that repeated action or habit, if you will, wouldn't have the same resulting karma. You could say, well, that person has good karma when it comes, if you put a lot of value on long fingernails, okay? That's just an example that he used. Of course, I think he did a lot better job of explaining that than I just did. But I think if we just expand this out and look at it in modern day world, how does this apply to us? Well, for example, the examples that I just talked about when it comes to a financial situation or one's health. We could look at the state that we currently find ourselves in. And I mean, I've actually heard people say maybe they're overweight or maybe they have some disease of this kind or that or the other. And they kind of just look at it and say, well, I inherited that from my parents. And it's just, that's my karma. And, you know, with the underlying assumption being, I don't have any control over that. But if we look at that karma from the idea that we're really causing it ourselves, if we have the habit, the daily habit of eating food that is not that healthy, maybe we eat when we get stressed or when we're bored, and we just don't really, make a conscious effort to control that aspect of our lives, then we end up being perhaps overweight, perhaps unhealthy, or with even some disease. And when it comes to finances, we could say the same thing. We maybe have the habit of just, we don't really take a conscious look at our spending habits. We tend to spend more money than we bring in, I think we've all had experiences of this kind of thing when it comes to our money, our diet, our exercise, and there are other examples that would that we could use as well. I just don't want to make this video too long, but I think it could be of some value to anyone who happens to watch this, that if we do look at our current state of life, whether it comes to money, health, our happiness, our just whatever it is, if we, instead of looking at the outside forces or something that we are born with or not born with, and just kind of place the blame elsewhere, then we don't have the power to make changes. But if we always look inward and look at ourselves, at the actions that we take, even if they're just small actions and they're repetitive things that we do day after day and week after week over the course of a long period of time, and we understand that we have the ability to change anything that we want to change about our lives if we just look at the actions that we are taking or that we're not taking over a long period of time. It takes some serious self-examination, I guess you'd say, and it's totally not easy to do. We all know that. But this Buddhist concept of karma and the idea that we always have the power to change anything about ourselves or about our lives if we just realize that we do have that power and we can make those changes if we are consistent about it over each and every day over a long period of time. And I guess I'm starting to repeat myself. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful to anyone who happens to watch this video. And thank you so much for watching.